This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
Might not always be that obvious why we do things like learning licks and bother to try and kind of figure these things out. Press record, obviously.
But I think for me, what the doing these kind of regular videos helps me to do is to hone in on one specific little kind of goal or one little idea to practice, so that hopefully by practicing it for a bit of a longer term, it becomes part of my playing, part of my guitar vocabulary or whatever. Now, here's a pattern that I started, or I wrote down for the first time in about 24th of January, I think, before the kid was born. I just revisited it over the last couple of days, and I think it's a really cool sounding pattern. So something I want to get into my playing, and so therefore I decided to do a lesson on it. Patreon will be the place for the tabs and for the intro backing track. Okay, so we're going to be thinking in E major for this. Yeah, let's just get straight into it. The idea here that we're really going to be channeling is 3-note per string pentatonic stuff. And we're going to start over here. And this isn't necessarily any of your familiar pentatonic boxes. The point with the 3-note per string stuff is that you're going to blend two pentatonic shapes together. Now, the shapes that you'll know, this one, the C sharp minor or E major, starting from here or here. And the one that I'm going to be mostly using, and E major. Okay, with the legato stuff, another thing to kind of bear in mind is that when we're pulling off, we're not necessarily thinking about actually pulling up. Pulling slightly down and to the side is probably a little bit more of an effective way to control legato, rather than thinking about it actually being pulling up. Just down to the side a little bit, just a little tip. So we're going to start here at the 19th fret, pull off to the 14th, jump up to the 16th fret. So if we've got 3 notes per string, we're going 3, 1, 2. Just remember that, that's the permutation basically. So 3, 1, 2, then we're going to shift positions down, and then we're going to go from 17 to 12 to 14. You can practice that. Okay, so then we're going to stay in position for this one. So 16, 11, 13. And then same again, 16, 11, 14. And then start to go back up. So that's the first half. So and then from here I'm going to hit the 16th, 13th, so in the middle of the two, so it's kind of going 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, as in like if there were 3 notes per string, we're going the second, so like the middle, and then the first 2. And then 14, 12, and that gets us all the way so that we can loop that round. That's new to me, but that's the concept that I was experimenting with in the introduction. I say new to me, like 3 months, but Alan Holdsworth is talking about this idea of the things that we practice take time to actually percolate into our improvisation or our playing in general. It has to be something that feels quite familiar under the fingers for us to go for it in the moment. So here we're starting on the 5th degree of the scale. So in E, we start on a B. So if we were playing in A, we'd start on an E. So this would be like the next step that I would do, is just try and move that into other keys. Obviously the lower you go, the harder these stretches might be. A major might be kind of a limit for me. B flat, B major, C major, D flat major, D major, that sort of thing. The next thing that I was thinking that I need to do, and I'm going to write this out for you guys on Patreon, is to figure out the other pentatonic positions. So we've got this 1 in E major. But we could start that, so the idea again, 3, 1, 2, shift down a pattern, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, something like this. Or we could keep going down, so here, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. And then we've got another one here. It's going to start to get very wide, stretchy here. So what I might be doing with these is just shifting them around into other keys to try and familiarize myself. But again, I'm just thinking about the 3 note per string in each position. So I'm going 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 1, 2. And then so that's the kind of overall concept. And the more comfortable I get with that, hopefully it will start to creep out in my improvisation. But that is generally 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. hoping to creep its way into my playing over time. Just something that I've been sort of toying with for a few months on the back burners, but I really like the sound of that, and so I'm going to work on that a bit more and try and get it under my fingers properly. I hope that's interesting for you, and Patreon will be a place to get the tab where I'm going to show it in all of those positions, and that's generally the concept. Thank you for stopping by. Cheers for now.